Let her rip.
Yeah, well, great pep talk there. Thanks for filling me in on your great idea of pushing record when I wasn't fucking ready.
That was my great idea. So you just said I'm feeling a little bit more business, and that isn't fun for a podcast. Now, I think that's kind of what it is that makes people who we work with in the creative space not want to do the stuff we talk about is because they're afraid of feeling too business. So that's our podcast topic today.
Okay, let it rip. Whoosh.
Okay, so why do you think that you have gone into business mind right now and it's kind of not as fun of a topic for you? And then I'm going to go ahead and pep talk you back to fun. I'm going to coach.
Well, Mike, it's the non-sexy shit. It's the behind the scenes. It's the work you put in when nobody's looking. And it's not, I shouldn't say it's fun. I have fun with everything I do business oriented, but when you do the behind the scenes, the systems, the processes, the stacking the chips and all that shit without the creatives, without the graphic design, the visual identities, the podcast, fun, let it rip shit. What I'm really doing is setting up for 2026. You know, I started doing this a few weeks ago, not only just with Force of Focus and the Winner Circle, but also Viral and like 3 other companies that I'm currently kind of diving into that I've been working on behind the scenes that I don't promote. I'm developing a lot of really cool systematic processes to almost streamline the businesses. And if the model works, we run it across all avenues. Mm-hmm. And that's the shit that nobody wants to talk about. That's the shit that nobody wants to see. Everybody wants to make it the logo and the brand kits and the websites and the landing page and the fucking, you know, all the cool artsy things. But what's going to make you the most money? What's going to make you perform at your highest level when nobody's looking? What's going to make you money while you're sleeping? That's the shit I've been really diving into for a lot of these businesses and for my clientele.
Well, I think the important part that you said about that is everybody wants to show and talk about the sexy stuff, you know, but there's a difference between the metaphorical Instagram filter that makes a chick look hot because it's on, because it's sexy, or you're just beautiful because you've taken care of yourself and done all the back end work that made you just gorgeous when you wake up. That's what you're working on. You're working on being a pretty fucking lady the minute you wake up in 2026.
Well, it's, if we go back to fitness, it's as we get older, it's not so much about the outside. We want to start working on the inside. And I wish I learned this, you know, in my 20s when I was working out and just eating supplements and fucking snorting fucking pre-powders or pre-workouts, you know, all the good things to visually make me look appealing, but just wrecking my insides, fucking my gut up. Like when I did the last 3 physique shows, not doing it the smart way. And when you really stop and think, it's like, let's work from the inside out. That's the same thing in your business.
Yeah.
You know, sure, you should always look good. You should always feel good. But if we're not internally driven, like if we're not operating through our gut, our heart, our blood circulation, all the things that aren't the sexy parts of being healthy, then what do you really have? You know? Yeah. And it's the same way for the business. You know, let's get them the logo, let's get them the brand, but then let's really work on the systems that's going to make these individuals succeed, you know?
Yeah.
That's it.
I completely agree. And that's a big issue we see in the creative space. I don't just want to say tattoo artists, but there's a lot of parallels to it where it's all about this is my product, most valuable. This is my content, valuable. But then when you're not doing that stuff, you don't know who you are. You don't know what you do. You feel a lot of that bloat in a sense, you know. And I know that in my life, I've felt that in my businesses.
Yeah.
And working with you over all these years, I've picked up a lot of that. The important shit when you and I aren't joking and fucking off back and forth.
Yeah.
There's a lot of diligent work being done.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. It's almost when we have the client that says, you know, I didn't get likes or I don't have that many followers and everyone's always trying to chase the viral content and make the stupid shit that has nothing to do with the business. But yeah, those 20, 30, 50,000 followers aren't paying your bills. They're not buying your service. They're being entertained. They're being entertained because you used the catchy fucking hook or you got the most views or got shared a lot. But that shared volume isn't anything of value or education or things that are going to help. And that's why we tell people you got to give away, give your fucking ammo away, give everything you got. Every day, if you go on Gary Vee or Alex Hormozi's web or Instagram page, they're giving away every system, every tool, every fucking ebook that you can possibly have until they build that trust where people just want to buy. They just want to be in your circle and your crew. And that's really the difference I think we've made in the last, just this year alone as a business perspective, and being able to multiply these businesses and use the same systems because they fucking work, as long as they're willing to do the work.
The proof of concept of that is once you have the system built, just as you said, I'm going to speak mostly on creatives. You're a creative, but you understand the fitness industry. You understand the social media mentor aspect of things, but they parallel quite a bit because the systems that you implement properly can be then implemented in any direction. That's when we tell people you can create multiple sources of income. It's not like you're starting from the foundation up. The foundation's already built. It's just how many pillars can you put on that foundation once you know that it's solid and done properly.
Sure. 100%. And the same goes for when I don't know, the creative, what are there influencers in your industry that are primarily just content creators that, yeah.
Most. And I think that's kind of the problem with which is what's so hard about not being a social media guru and not all right, so most people who do influencing and tattooing specifically, they don't tattoo anymore. They just do the influencer thing, where what I love about what I do is it is still fun, it is still sexy, but it is still messy as fuck because I'm an active tattoo artist, I'm an active studio owner, I've got artists who work under me, I work artists that I train, and I still have to build systems for additional businesses that you and I are building on the back end. Nothing about it. If I gave somebody a PDF and said, "Cool, do all this," they would say, "No, thank you." But the difference between what they do and what we do is real work on the back end. And one thing that I love about it is we're becoming counterculture in comparison to influencers and trend changers.
Yeah. And that's the number one thing I ask the individuals: are you doing this to be an influencer? Or are you doing this to actually make a difference? I'm not saying that influencers do not make a difference. There's a lot of great ones, but there's a lot of fucking BS. There's a lot of smoke in there. There's a lot of artificial bullshit that these guys are putting. And I love the creators that are basically fact checking them, and they're not afraid to do those videos where it's like, this is absolute, I forget, like Brad, what's his name? The sober coach. He's doing it a lot right now. He's absolutely crushing it at that. Scotty's a good one. But you've got these guys, and I ask people when they come in, like, what is your ultimate goal? Are you looking to build the team? Are you looking just to be an influencer? And it's okay either way. There's a great fucking career out of each of those, but it's which direction do you want to go?
Let me ask you this. What do you think is the difference between being an influencer and being a person of influence?
I would say experience.
Proof of concept?
Proof of concept, experience, knowledge, reps, testimonies, and social proof.
Yeah.
Real social proof, not rented, fake bullshit.
Yeah.
So when you got a 22-year-old that's going to tell you how to become a billionaire, and that he's done it for years, kid just got out of high school, dropped out of college, lives in his mom's basement, no rent. You know what I mean? There's a difference. There's no experience. There's no life experience there.
Yeah. One, I think that's a big thing is social media has done a lot of good for a lot of people of influence and people who never would have had an opportunity to reach such a large market. But it's made it a lot harder for those people because of influencers, because people don't know what they don't know. So it makes everyone have a hard time with trust, so that proof of concept and that certainty of who you are and all the work you did on the back end makes you stay the course and not have to change and follow trends, because that's when it becomes obvious.
Well, yeah, that and the expectation that they're portraying in social media that how easy it is, or you can be doing this if you just do this. And it's like, that's not realistic. Yeah. Because again, like how we started this conversation, it's not showing the back end work. It's not showing the systems. It's not showing all the processes and the fuck ups and failures in between all that. You know?
That's what I love about the content that you make. Some of my favorite stuff is when it's you in time lapse just building brand packages. That was the same reason I sent you Rob's post earlier. Yeah, really good angle, really good 3-panel split, how they did it. And I really want to start doing more of that because we work all day long, but the work we do is so rewarding and fulfilling. It's exhausting. I'm never going to tell somebody it's all fun and games. But if you want life to be sexy and not just appear that way, you got to be willing to do those reps.
No, I agree. I love doing those. I just have not been doing a whole lot of the creatives. It's more of like the boring PDF paperwork, what would you call that? Just fucking office work. So I haven't been building as many visuals, and that's something I got to get back to. But as I've grown these last couple of businesses, I can make stuff so fast it wouldn't be much of a time lapse. Not to toot my own horn, but 20-minute time lapse of me building a few content creation wouldn't be that magical in a time lapse. It'd be like 3 seconds.
The crazy part is when most people watch you put together things for brand packages, you move at time lapse speed.
I'm very fast
because you've gotten so quick and like efficient at it.
It's pretty gnarly, man. I think it was last week or the week before, I hopped on a Zoom or something with somebody and like, can you do that all again really quick? I'm like, absolutely. Tried to slow it down, and then I started fucking up when I actually go slow. But that's just it. We talked about it, and we both move. Like when someone texts back, I try my hardest to respond as quick as possible. When there's a project due, I try and get it done within 24 hours, depending on the task. But I do not like waiting anymore. And we are the do it now. We speak about it all the time. It's like, why put off? I won't say individual's name, but when it takes 7 days to do certain things, like why? Why do you want that on your shoulder for 7 days? Like, yeah, I get off the phone with somebody and I start working. Regardless of how busy I am, that's my priority. Is I just got the phone, everything's fresh, emotions running. Get that guy his fucking shit within 24 hours and call it a day.
Yeah, well, a lot of it has to do with the first thing every successful person has to learn, and that's time management. It's not about where can I fit it in the schedule. Is this something I can get done immediately so I can maintain a consistent schedule? A lot of people, their lives are so messy. They're comfortable, so they don't feel that messy, but they're always like, well, I'll get it done later in the week with no schedule.
Yeah. I get excited when I get on an assessment or a client call and the ideas are flowing. Like, that's when I get to work because it's fresh. The emotions are there. Like, the energy's high. The vibes are good. Like, that's when I'm ready. If I wait a week, then I'm like, oh fuck, what did I talk to Charlie about? What did me and Susan just? Oh shit, what color palette? Although I got my Fathom in my recorder and stuff, but like, then I have to go back and like kind of retrack, reassess. So I don't know. I just work different, and it's seemed to work well for me.
When people say work smarter, not harder, it's not what people think that means. You don't work different. You just work smart. You just get the work done. Working harder means you're doing it when it's convenient, because then you're always going to feel like you're behind the fucking curve.
Yeah. Some people can work under that pressure. I don't. I mean, I've done it. I can, but I don't like being waited on. And we talked about this in a couple episodes. I fucking hate it.
Yeah. We as tattoo artists.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. What?
No, go ahead.
We as tattoo artists, we always take pride in being 11th hour workhorses. But God forbid, imagine the freedom if you're hour one workhorses. You know what I mean? I don't want to wait until 11 to get it done. If I get it done at 1, I have 10 more hours to do really productive things for everything else.
I hate, and that's the hardest part of leadership, or when you have people under you, because we talked about this a couple episodes ago. It's like, no one's going to outwork me. You know, there's a lot of people that work harder, smarter than me. Absolutely. I do have breaks. I get, I have time freedom. But like when it comes to the tasks that I give out that I know I can do and, call it alpha, but it's because I've just done it too many times to, okay, I'll give Sam a chance. All right, let's see if Sam comes through. 4 days later, 5 days later, hey, Sam, oh shit. Okay. Yeah. I could have had it done the next day. And that for me, that's the hardest part of leadership or mentoring is depending and giving those tasks to other people and finally like giving up that role.
Yeah. That goes back to our standards set our expectations. You know what I mean? Because we don't want to diminish our own expectations of another person because we know what's possible. We want you to meet us here. And that's what made the Force of Focus so hard, having so many different people that have been on the back end is I want to be able to pay the right team. I want to be able to work with the right team who sees the right vision and will match that intensity. It's very expensive when you have to get more stressed out to pay people instead of paying people more to be less stressed out.
Well, yeah, that's always the rule, dude. Is instead of paying five schmucks fucking, evenly across the board to do half-ass shit, get the one or two people that you just pay full price and knowing your insurance is covered. Like, literally.
Yeah.
I mean, easier said than done, especially in this day and age. And again, dude, and not to get, well, we can break in this topic. And that is why AI is taking over. That is why ChatGPT is the number one used tool right now because people are fed up because society today is just fucking lazy. The work ethic in anybody, you go to any restaurant, and I don't want to get too down this rabbit hole, but I mean, it's just a disappointment, dude. Like you go in a restaurant, and they just fucking don't want to be there. They don't want to work. They're not cheering you with a smile when you walk through that door. It's just like, dude, what happened? And that's, and people are going to keep complaining AI's taking over. Well, stop being a lazy fuck.
That's what it boils down to is a lot of people have that big AI Armageddon fear, but all you're doing is putting out a post about your fear about the Armageddon. You're not actually increasing your work ethic because every business knows clients want to work with people. Now, when you teach these people to utilize AI to be more efficient, you still have a job. You can just get 10 times more accomplished. Like, that's what it is. I tell tattoo artists that all the time. Like, AI is not going to take your job. People who use AI will, though.
That's it. That's it. 100%. And again, that's one of the reasons I just figured it the fuck out. Anything. Like you gave me a task to learn in school. Guess what? I'm going to figure out school. Never use it in my life, but I guarantee I'll be a pro in 3 days.
It's going to be shockingly easy. It's so less complex than Circle was. But I mean, like with the glitz and the glams and all the different options and all that shit, it's user friendly for the consumer, and it makes it a lot easier just to say, look, here's your section, here's your modules, here's your PDFs. We've created ChatGPT prompts for each thing to help keep people organized and to be able to learn their AI. And it's pretty much the one-stop shop for all things you need. And we make it easy on everybody.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. I agree. I never feared AI. I've gotten so in tune with it. There's so much more I can learn. And I don't think we'll ever stop learning, nor do I want to. I want it to get better. I want to see Getz riding a buffalo with a fucking American cape on his back. You know what I mean? Let's go.
That's right. Dude, every single day, I showed my son that video, and now like I have a painting of a buffalo in my house because it's my favorite animal. I love the buffalo mindset. And so every single morning when he wakes up, I will show him a new video of his dad riding a buffalo, saying good morning to him. And it's the cutest shit in the world, dude.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
My daughters would not find that amusing.
Just pick the right animal, Pegasus.
They would get more out of it if I put them on the buffalo. Then they'll be like, oh.
Yeah. Just Jake riding a Pegasus over a rainbow, just sprinkling glitter on people, calling them calling them slurs.
Oh shit. Good times.
Yep.
Yeah.
But and so I mean, I think that's when it becomes sexy. You know, you always go through seasons where you have to just buckle the fuck down. And a lot of the people that we would love to work with, they're not afraid to work with us. They're afraid to have to change and actually buckle down and realize they don't feel equipped for life and to be able to create that sexy life.
Yeah. I agree. And these people need to be challenged. If you're comfortable in your own business or your brand, you're stagnant.
Yeah.
You're getting passed up. You should be scared. You should wake up every day excited, grateful, just like my post today. But you should be scared.
Yeah.
You should be reaching as high as you possibly can, because every day, if you're not waking up trying to improve, and I know it sounds cliche, is 1% better every single day, it can be more of a factual statement, dude, because if you're not waking up nervous every day to challenge yourself to be what you were yesterday, what do you have? You have to be challenged. And I think that's why a lot of people are scared of mentorship or leadership or investing in yourself, because they know you can't bullshit anymore. You can't bullshit your way out of a mentor. You can lie to yourself all you want, but numbers don't lie when you check in with that coach. Same thing with a personal trainer. I don't need a trainer. I got this. Oh, do you, Susie? Tell me how you got it. Oh, I go to the gym every day and I eat good. Well, what do you eat? I had a salad for lunch. Same fucking, you're bullshitting. The minute you get that personal trainer, you're fucked.
Yep.
You're going to fucking regret every second of that, but it's going to be the best 6 months of your life. And same thing with a business mentor or coach. You're not investing in yourself. It's because you're scared. You're scared to go all in, but you're scared of fucking lying.
Yep. I heard Alex Hormozy put it really well the other day. It was one of those things that popped up on YouTube. When he used to do training, he would ask people, "So how'd you do on your diet?" And they would say, "Oh, fucking great." And you could look at them and know they're full of shit. So he reframed the question: out of the 15 meals that I gave you to eat, how many of those did you stick to? And they would say, 50%, 75%, and just be amped on it. But then you realize, oh, to them, that is getting better. Getting 1% better only really works when you've already gotten 50% better, because getting 1% better from zero is still going to take you for fucking ever. But if you can get proud of being 50% better, if you went from eating drive through to meal plan, now you're drawing a line in the sand. Now you're hitting benchmarks.
So I'm glad you brought that up, because that's the same way I'm attacking these business plans. Is instead of, like we talk about, throwing the balls and them catching all the balls at once, when you really look at it, it's almost like personal training. When I was a personal trainer, I used to be the dude. It's like, all right, dude, Monday diet starts. You're not going to drink beer. You're not going to eat bread. You're going to lower your carbs. You're going to come to the gym 5 days a week. You're going to stop smoking. You're going to stop drinking soda. You're going to stop doing these things. Then all of a sudden, these guys would just go full throttle for 2 or 3 weeks. And then they just hit that wall. It's like, what the fuck? And as I've learned over my time of 15 years being in the personal trainer, coaching industry, give them one. Hey, this weekend, dude, I know you usually drink Friday and Saturday night. Let's just give it on Saturday. But get your ass, but maybe go for a walk the next weekend. All right, now let's eliminate, instead of 8 beers, let's bring it down to 5. Same thing with their food. You know what I mean? If they've never eat vegetables at dinner and they don't eat 200 grams of protein, just give them a little task. Hey, I want you to hit 100 grams of protein this week. Next week, let's hit 120. And I've learned that same thing with business, dude. It's like, instead of giving them everything out the door, it's like, give them one task for that month. You know what I mean? Like, let's perfect one thing. If that's business development, if that's visual identity, if that's content strategy, if that's marketing, if that's sales, dive into just that. Instead of having them go, you're going to post 5 times a week. You're going to freaking 20 DMs. You're going to, you need your logo, your brand kit, your website. And they're like, what? I just want to do online coaching, or I just want to be a tattoo artist. Mm-hmm. Just give them the basics. Give them a little bit.
Yeah. I've been doing TikTok for the week, and I can't tell you how much engagement I get from that attitude of, well, tattoo artists should just be able to charge whatever that tattoo artist wants to charge for no particular reason because we're self-employed. It's like, okay, yeah, I mean, I can get on board with that, but what do you offer aside from just a tattoo? Because 3 posts ago, you personally said how saturated the market is. So what are you doing that's different than them to justify how you charge? Or are you just charging the number that pops into your head? Are you just charging what you feel like will fill your pocket for that evening? Are you just charging because of the amount of bills that you have today? Because that's not a consistent strategy. You're not building trust.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Do you say TikTok? You're posting on TikTok?
I am.
I don't. I do very rarely.
This week I've been doing 2 to 3 a day.
Sick.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not big engagement, but I get way more comments, interaction, curiosity.
You doing 2 different posts? Are you doing a style for Instagram and a style for TikTok, or just?
I'm recording straight on TikTok, just a rip session. My talking head shit performs way better when it's organic, live, and recorded right there on the app.
Yep, that's perfect.
Yeah,
I wish I could. I have no desire. Like I love building content and doing things, but I have no desire to follow strategy or calendar or clickbaits or algorithm audience shit. Like I just post when I want. You know what I mean? I'm not worried about it.
that's exactly what I do. I have no idea about TikTok's algorithm. Whenever somebody says,
I'm
"Here's the
saying
new
I'm saying in general for me, even on Instagram
Yeah.
and Facebook, I don't care. That's the last thing. My goal is to watch, my 50 to 100 coaches or artists or creatives like just kill it. Like I get excited for them when I see a storyline, like, like 5 in a row, or if I go to their posts, I see they post every day. Like that's what I work for, dude. Like sounds lame, but like I don't give a fuck about my own page.
I do more now than ever because I truly value and respect the people that work under the Force of Focus umbrella. And so in a roundabout way, like you, Steve, Haley, um, Jared, like you guys have to rely on me to take my page seriously because it's how the increase of acquisition is going to occur. So the more clear I feel and the more direct path I have to take, the better we're all going to take because we're all in fulfillment. But I have,
Right there, though, you said it. Like I worry more about what you're putting out. I'm gonna call your shit out before I even give a fuck about me.
yeah, that's fair.
You know what I mean? Same thing with, I'm running 4 pages though. I've got 4 Instagram pages that I have my hands in to build, create, post, engage. Like, yours being a 5th. Plus then if I want to do a Mantis post or a Second Life post, that's 6. Yep. That's 7 pages right there.
Yep. And I was going to ask if you wanted to do a letter rip page.
Episode 7. No. How to build an Instagram page from scratch.
Yep.
I don't mind it. I wouldn't mind. That would be easy, but it fucking, it's like, yeah, somebody had just made a comment. Jason with Winter Circle, man, he's just like, I don't know how you do it. He's like, everything you put out is gold from the design. Like, how are you running? Like, I'm watching you post on all these and like, how are you doing? I'm like, I'm just trained systems. I just do it. I'm just there. It's like getting up and brushing my teeth or taking a shower, going to the gym and fucking making breakfast. So now I post.
And that's the nice part about having a branding package, is it makes it so much easier to know what is and what isn't on brand. You already have your templates. You already know all of your background.
Mikey, if you saw my behind the scenes Canva, you would be like, holy shit. I am so out of whack on my shit because there's so many things I'm working on that like nothing. Viral has 15 different folders that but that's how I run. That's my system. And that shit's so scattered. When I was just working on one business, it was easy. Everything was right there. But now with like 15 different projects going on, it's a lot of visuals. I started doing creative, like I'm setting up, I don't even know what the fuck it's called, but setting up booths. Like I'm mocking up booth like spaces for all their visuals, banners, backdrops, tablecloths, all that cool shit. So that's another experiment I'm doing right now.
Yeah, you're a fucking psychopath, and I love that. Cool, man. Well, this is a fun one. I like just being able to it's literally let it rip.
We just let it rip.
We just let it rip. So, I mean, should we turn into those guys that are like, hey, if any of this jargon that we just spout off without scripts or intent resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Okay.
What they? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, if you like this video, like, share, comment. What is it? I don't even know how to say it. Like, I don't even know how to promote it.
Do you want to just start making up corporate sponsors that we're not sponsored by?
Today's episode is brought to you by my phone.
Yeah. Are you on your phone right now?
No.
Oh.
It's just the first thing my brain thought of. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Like just no let's do inappropriate sponsors.
Okay.
You should not be sponsored by.
KY Jelly it is.
Do I have to come up with a logo for that? Like a watermark? Steve, insert.
No. I think that's where it becomes copyright infringement.
In no way, shape, or form are we endorsed by KY Jelly. But this episode is brought to you by KY Jelly.
Yeah, they just don't know it yet.
For research purposes only. Not for human consumption. There, we're good. We just hit the law.